She was young and I was young, and I never cared had we, of all the worries of this world, that we might never again be seen. We wandered one day onto the paths where few any long tread, out of the home of an old man, 25 years dead. He had been a brilliant scientist, the paper did proclaim, but like all men upon this world, time closed out his fame. He had cares for mortal wealth, if so, we scarce could tell. His home was ancient, sere and lean, its walls an empty shell. The green tiles on the roof decayed, the garden plants were frayed, the white wood walls grew thick with moss after he in his grave was laid. The first floor creaked, its wood's board had been decayed and silence slept. Towards rotting stairs and up to heights, my beating heart it leapt. Alice was her name, I think through sanity implores me not to think the fact that I led her through that door. I bewray her to follow me up to the second floor, and I thought I was terrified. My fright pushed me on the more. We walked up those steps and into the attic, where the box was found. It sat alone and deathly quiet, the room empty all around. On the side were scrawled these numbers, 433. In that box, a thing so dark that it should never be seen. Alice led to the box and opened it to see what lays in that unholy darkness which drew both her and me. Alice and I looked inside, and in the darkness saw a horrifying crawling nightmares living inside that maw. Centipedes and beetles crawling inside of there, thousands of them swarming, never a thought to spare. I'm not sure why I did it. I thought it was funny then. Alice was leaning over the side, and I thought to push her in. She yelled at me and screamed. I picked the lid up off the floor. I'm not sure what I said so long ago as I closed that door. When her voice died in silence with some concerned dread, I opened up that box, fearing to find her dead. My cruelty repaid. I can't describe the sight. I ran home and told my parents that Alice disappeared that night. That was true, I still know. Although I pushed it back, Alice was gone away, vanished through some tracks, which led through the world unheard of, which falls through madman's dreams, which even to the blind man I thought unsightly seems. The box I know assuredly was no box at all. The man who owned it had hastily thought to close its call. He had hidden it away in the attic above his head, that thing which to him had been a source of dread. It could not be destroyed, that thing which hell had borne. After a quarter of a century, I doubt it's even worn. A brilliant man he was, but the devil did beguile even Dr. Faust away with his cunning wiles. I know how to open it. After 25 years, I know that I should go there and face all of my fears. 8 times at most would be needed to find whatever is left, to find Alice there where she had starved to death. But something taunts me in my mind, something that will not leave. What if I open up the box and my reason does deceive? Those things that crawled, that lived in there, for those know how long. The rain falls on the other plains. Could she be in there alone? I wonder now whether if I go, and the darkness did connive, what exactly will I find if it had kept Alice alive? Fleeing from a monstrous beast, I must escape, lest be deceased. Running through the field of fog, my progress slowed by thickened bog. Panicking as darkness looms, a feeling of impending doom, I am trapped within a maze, constructed by horrendous haze. I have brought this on myself, read from the book on ancient shelves. Now I'm lost in darkened mist, and with the vial I am amidst. Blinding smoke does push and pull, which hostile thoughts and voices full. Now the beast is creeping near, fall to my knees, succumb to fear. Turn to look, I freeze in shock, muscles stuck like a rusted lock. Fet's mist slowly unwind, tentacles creeping like a vine. They saluted within arm's length, and take a hold with immense strength. With their touch my mind is torn. I'm fused to what was never born. Nothing known can dull this pain. It eats away, driven insane. Swiftly I lost my mind. I have now become one of its kind. Twisted form melts into mist. My spirit bursts like a putrid cyst. Following him into the abyss, the old world I no longer miss. Blindly serve the mind of Hive. Great old one now keeps me alive. In the machine, I'm but a cog, even constructing infernal fog. There have been accounts and stories of people attempting the following, as it is a traditional song that suffers from an anonymous author. People have generally assumed that it is more than a poem and instead is a list of instructions to direct someone on a journey to the realm called the Further. As by now you've probably guessed, this possibly ancient rhyme was the inspiration for the film Insidious. I'm sure there has been debates as to what the Further is. I personally believe that is adventure's own personal hell, and it is curiosity and foolhardiness that leads one there. The author describes thick yellow smoke, hideous thoughts, and bodiless eyes. Believe what you will, and try what you want. Unfortunately, copies of the poem seem scarce on the internet, so I share my copy with you. Enjoy your adventures. Into the Further you go. To start your venture into the fray, first you settle at the end of the day. Plead your prepare you for what you may see. You thank him for placing the fruits on the trees. And as the ticking takes you further below, into the further you go. You light your home with a single flame to guide you out and far from declaim, away from the smoke of what you may see. To flee back to safety, the light is the key. And as the ticking takes you further below, into the further you go. Close your eyes and sharpen your mind, for all weariness you leave behind. Any links to love, and the worlds must be shed, for what lies below longs to hide in your head. And as the ticking takes you further below, into the further you go. Meditate for an hour and a second. Keep your mind here and refrain from flexions. Contemplate the further and what you may see. Let your mind open and your soul will be free. And as the ticking takes you further below, into the further you go. As you steady in this state, explore and adventure, but do not wait for any company you decide to stem. Go on without. In here, you can't see them. And as the ticking takes you further below, into the further you go. Take the candle you lit before and venture out to the nearest door. Your sanctuary has gone and your home disappeared. Welcome to the further and all that you feared. And as the ticking takes you further below, into the further you go. Normality now is to see blinking red lights near and around you in the curling rise of yellow smoke and fog you were sure definitely was not there before. And as the ticking takes you further below, into the further you go. Your ears and the eternal night plays tricks that the Faust overflows with the water of Styx. The reddest light continues to gore as the smoke leads you to the front of his door. And as the ticking takes you further below, deeper into the further you go. A warning to all adventurers, beware. The bilious eyes bid a scarlet glare to alert that you're here to its invisible peers. Behind its door, their warning he hears. And as the ticking takes you further below, deeper into the further you go. If you grow scared, your journey must stop. The further comes alive to bargain a swap of your empty blackness for your beating heart. Go in through the door for the end to start. And as the ticking takes you further below, deeper into the further you go. On the other side of the gated way, the flames of hell march further away. Hideous thoughts and smells abound, their face spin around and around. And as the ticking takes you further below, deeper into the further you go. They stare at you from a single frame, their mouths moving quietly and utterly blame, and the hate for you, all that you've done. You feel the end, your mind will run. I counted 3 the time it went. In a tall mirror their faces bent and curved around like a painted frown, like the one you might find on the face of a clown. These are the faces of the people you've lost, the ones you have envisioned, and the ones that cost your heartache and longing for months on end. Your thoughts of goodbye up to heaven you send. But no, here they are. They're swirling in the mirror down into the further. Life becomes dearer than anything that could have sparked the idea to share a midnight somewhere but here. In front of the glass you lose your mind. Crouched in the dark, the door behind, you'll hear it slam shut, regardless of your luck. Inside the further, you're stuck.